Everybody is complaining about how the only movies coming out today are either comic book adaptations or bloated big-budget remakes. The movie business is a business, but they aren't making nearly as much money as they used to. Back in the 1980s, with the boom of VHS tape and rental places like Blockbuster, it was really hard not to make money with a movie. First it comes out in theaters, then the movie goes to airlines and video on demand at hotels. After 6 months, the title went to tape for rental, when tapes were being sold for $79 each to the rental places. Another 6 months later, the tapes are then sold for retail between $9.95 and $19.95 to the public. They also start airing on pay cable channels. A year after that, and regular TV and cable TV will show the movie with commercials. And the studios would do this for every territory in the world. Movies made all new revenue streams every 6 months from most countries around the globe. In the early 2000s, DVD came out. To try to help people switch from VHS to DVD, they released the DVDs for retail price at the same time as the VHS tapes for rental. Pretty soon, people did switch, but the rentals went down. 10 years later, and we have Netflix. The brick and mortar rental stores started to die off quickly from the mail order. Once the rentals became on demand with hundreds of thousands of movies available at the same time, virtually every rental store went away. As for retail, once Netflix and Amazon streaming video services took over, as well as mail order from websites from major retailers, the death of profits for low-end and middle-of-the-road budget movies was sealed. Here's some basic math on independent films and direct-to-video before and after. To put 2 copies of your independent film at most rental stores in the US meant you would sell approximately 50,000 copies of your movie. In today's world, Netflix only buys 18 copies of this lower budgeted film to cover the entire country. For streaming, they pay a flat rate no matter how many times your movie gets watched. For a low budget feature with no-name stars, it's very unlikely you're even going to get acquired, and if you did, the rate will be well below $10,000. Kiosks like Redbox would rather have more copies of the big budget movies that are more likely to get rented than make room for obscure titles. That's going from 50,000 to less than 20 copies sold for rental. On the retail side, you had the big 3, Walmart, Best Buy, and Target. To put 10 copies at each of their retail stores meant you would sell approximately 75,000 copies of your movie. Today, they won't make room for the independent fare. They only want to put on physical shelves more of the big Hollywood movies because they're more likely to sell. Instead, they purchase the odd titles only for Walmart.com, BestBuy.com, and Target.com. They purchase approximately 20 copies at a time for each until there's demand for more copies. So you went from 75,000 sales down to 60. All of these losses are without consideration of bootlegging, DVD rips, torrent sites, and the damage that does to sales.